Stop. Do not scroll past this. Take a deep breath and center your awareness right here, right now. If your eyes are scanning these words, you must understand that this is not a random occurrence. You are not stumbling upon this message by accident or through the chaotic churn of a digital algorithm. What is happening in this precise second is an orchestrated intersection of energy and intent. The quantum field, that vast and invisible web of intelligence that connects all things, is selective. It does not broadcast its deepest truths to everyone, everywhere, all at the time. It waits, it listens, it monitors the vibrational frequency of every consciousness, waiting for a specific signal of readiness. You are here because you emitted that signal. This is a divine appointment disguised as a piece of content. The fact that you clicked, that you stayed, that you are listening to this voice inside your mind as you read is proof of a phenomenon known as quantum selection. The universe has chosen you to receive a specific frequency of information at this exact coordinate in time because you have reached a threshold of receptivity that you may not even be consciously aware of yet. This is a singular opportunity. It is a moment that cannot be replicated. The insights we are about to unlock will only resonate with your system right now in this unique configuration of your life. Most people walk through their existence believing that information is static, that truth is just out there waiting to be found by anyone with a search engine. They do not understand the mechanics of the energetic world. The quantum field operates like a sophisticated radio transmitter. It does not blast static into the void. It delivers precise, encoded transmissions to specific nodes of consciousness that are tuned to the correct frequency. Think of an old radio dial. You can spin past the static for hours, but suddenly, when the alignment is perfect, the signal comes through crystal clear. Your consciousness is tuned right now, today. If you had found this yesterday, you might have scrolled past. If you find it next month, the window may have closed. But in this breath, the lock has clicked. The tumblers of the cosmos have aligned. Can you feel the weight of that truth? There is likely a sensation rising within you, a subtle recognition that says, I was meant to find this. That feeling is not your imagination playing tricks on you. It is not wishful thinking. It is accurate extrasensory perception. It is your soul recognizing the signature of truth. The mathematical probability of you arriving here amidst the billions of distractions fighting for your attention is infinitesimal. The events of your day, the timing of your break, the specific train of thoughts that led you to pick up your device, all of it was guided. It was the field nudging you inch by inch to ensure you were standing at this gateway when it opened. You are not merely consuming content, you are entering a transmission. The field determined that you require this upgrade now. The message we are about to unravel is simple on the surface, yet its implications will shatter the glass ceiling of your current reality. You have been conditioned to believe you are a passive observer, a tiny figure watching the movie of life unfold on a screen you cannot touch. That is the illusion. The truth is that you are an active co-creator entangled with the very fabric of the quantum field. For a long time, the field has been quietly guiding you, shifting you, and preparing you for a purpose that is finally ready to break the surface. Look back at your recent history. Everything you have endured up to this second, every heartbreak that brought you to your knees, every sudden breakthrough that made no logical sense, every detour that felt like a mistake, was not random chaos. It was architectural. The field was carving out space within you. It was dismantling the old structures of your ego to make room for a higher voltage of consciousness. You were being trained, you were being positioned, and what comes next, what begins the moment you fully accept this transmission, is the reason for all of it. The vast majority of people who might stumble across this will feel absolutely nothing. To them, these are just words on a screen, abstract concepts without weight. The message will bounce off their mental armor because their frequency is not yet calibrated to receive it. But you are different. You are still here. You are feeling the resonance hum in your chest. The field chose you specifically because your consciousness has evolved to a point where you can do more than just understand this intellectually. You are ready to embody it. You are ready to become a living, breathing demonstration of what happens when a human being remembers their partnership with the infinite. This is a one-time delivery for a one-time threshold of readiness. The universe knows you. It knows your capacity. That is why it steered you here. It did not bring you to this point to entertain you for a few minutes. It did not bring you here to give you a fleeting hit of dopamine or temporary inspiration. It brought you here to activate you permanently. It brought you here to deliver a code that shifts the very foundation of how you perceive your role in the creation of reality. That activation triggers the second you silently admit to yourself, "I was chosen for this." Before we pull back the curtain on the core message, we must validate the path that brought you here. The field never operates in isolation. It does not just drop a bomb of truth without laying the groundwork. If you are honest with yourself, you will admit that you have been seeing the signs for days, perhaps weeks or months. The synchronicities have been accelerating, haven't they? We are not talking about random coincidences. We are talking about impossible timing. We are talking about seeing repeating numbers on clocks, license plates and receipts. 111, 222, 444, flashing like neon signposts from the universe. You have likely noticed information arriving from multiple directions simultaneously. You hear a new concept in a podcast, and 3 hours later, a friend mentions the exact same obscure phrase. You think of someone, and they call. These are not glitches. This is the field demonstrating its presence. It is the universe showing you that the walls between your inner thoughts and your outer reality are much thinner than you were taught. These signs were the warm-up act. They were the field's way of building your trust, preparing you to accept that your arrival at this specific message is also orchestrated. There has been a pull, hasn't there? A gnawing sense of urgency in your gut. It is not just a vague curiosity. It is a specific magnetic pull toward understanding your deeper purpose. You have caught yourself thinking, "I am here for something more. I need to know what it is." That internal pressure has been building like steam in a boiler. It reached its peak right before you found this. That pressure was not anxiety. It was the sensation of being summoned. The field was creating a vacuum within you, a space of pure receptivity, so that when the answer arrived, you would drink it in without hesitation. Perhaps you have also noticed that reality feels more fluid lately. The lag time between your intentions and their manifestation is shortening. You think about something, and it appears. You worry about a scenario, and it dissolves. It feels as though your thoughts are gripping the gears of reality more directly. This is not your imagination inflating your importance. This is the field revealing your power to you in increments. It was showing you that you are not a leaf blowing in the wind. You are the wind itself. Think about the disruptions. Have you experienced sudden, unexpected shifts in your relationships, your career, or your living situation? Things that seemed solid and permanent suddenly dissolved. People who you thought would be in your life forever exited without a clear reason. Opportunities vanished, and new, strange doors opened. At the time, it might have felt like chaos. It might have felt like loss, but look closer. These were not punishments. These were corrections. The field was clearing the board. It was removing energy that was too dense, too heavy, or too misaligned for where you are going. It was a reorganization of your environment to support your activation. You may have also felt a growing sense of isolation. This is a common symptom of the quantum leap. You might feel disconnected from the mainstream narratives, the drama of social media, or the petty concerns that seem to consume everyone around you. You look at the world and feel like a stranger in a strange land. You cannot engage with surface-level conversations anymore because they feel empty. That separation was necessary. It was not loneliness. It was extraction. The field needed to pull you out of the collective noise so you could hear a signal that the collective is not ready to hear. It created a sanctuary of silence around you so this transmission could land without distortion. Deep down, you have had moments of absolute knowing, a quiet, unshakable certainty that something huge is approaching. It is not a fear of the future, but a recognition of destiny. You have felt it in your bones. Something is changing. I am being prepared. That intuition was precognitive. You were sensing the energy of this very moment before it arrived within linear time. You were feeling the shockwave of this truth before the impact. Consider this, you almost didn't engage with this message. A part of you resisted. Your logical mind, the guardian of the status quo, probably whispered, "I don't have time for this," or "This is just another video." But something stronger than your logic, something primal and magnetic, overruled that resistance. That force was the field itself, bypassing your ego because this appointment was too critical to miss. The fact that you are still reading, despite the resistance, despite the distractions, is the ultimate confirmation. Every sign, every number, every lost friendship, every intuitive hit, they were not separate events. They were beads on a single string. The field has been orchestrating your entire timeline to deliver you to this paragraph, to this breath. It is not because you are special in an egoic sense. It is because you are ready in an energetic sense. And true readiness is rare. That is why the guidance had to be so precise. One missed turn, one ignored sign, and you would be elsewhere, asleep in the matrix. But you are here. You followed the breadcrumbs. Let us reframe your entire life story through this lens. Nothing was random. Every single challenge you faced was capacity building. The dark nights of the soul, the moments you fell to the floor in despair, the situations that seemed impossible to survive, those were not obstacles blocking your path. They were the path. The field needed you to develop specific muscles, resilience, absolute trust, the ability to navigate the unknown, and the willingness to surrender control. You could not possibly receive what is coming next without those capacities. Acting on the information you are about to learn requires the strength you built in the fire of your past struggles. The universe was not testing you, it was training you. Every breakthrough was evidence gathering. When things worked out largely against the odds, when help arrived at the 11th hour, when the perfect solution materialized out of thin air, those were not strokes of luck. That was the field introducing itself to you. It was building a case file of evidence so that you would know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are supported by an invisible intelligence. You needed that evidence so that when we tell you that you are a co-creator, you believe it based on experience, not just blind faith. Every moment of awakening you have had, those fleeting glimpses of unity, the times your heart burst open with love for no reason, the spiritual highs, were frequency upgrades. The field was slowly dialing up your voltage. If you had received this transmission 5 years ago, it would have fried your circuits. You needed to be acclimated to higher energy. Your isolation was noise reduction, clearing the static so the music could be heard. Your accelerated growth was timeline compression, rushing you to the front lines because the world needs your awakened state now. Your life has been a curriculum designed by the quantum field for this specific graduation day. The field knew this moment was inevitable. It knew exactly what you would need to understand to handle the power of your true identity. It orchestrated every tear and every triumph to construct the vessel of your current consciousness. You are not arriving here late. You are not arriving here by accident. You are arriving precisely on time, fully equipped, and perfectly configured to receive a truth that can only be unlocked once. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere around you? This is not just intellectual processing. There is an actual energetic transmission occurring between the quantum field and your biofield right now. Notice the quality of your focus. It has deepened. It is almost as if something is listening through you rather than you listening to it. That is because the download has already begun. The field is not waiting for the end of the message. It is using these words as a carrier wave for a direct data transfer. Focus on your body. You might feel a tingling in your hands, a pressure in your forehead, a warmth spreading through your chest, or a vibration at the base of your spine. These physical sensations are the biological feedback of an energetic recalibration. Your DNA is responding to the frequency of truth. Your system is upgrading its software to process the reality of who you really are. Breathe into it. Realize that you are not just breathing oxygen. You are breathing the field itself. You are inhaling the intelligence that spins the galaxies. We are about to cross the threshold. The field communicates through resonance, not just language. The words you are reading are merely pointers, signposts directing your awareness toward a direct experience of knowing. You are receiving information that bypasses the analytical mind. You will walk away from this with certainties you cannot explain to a skeptic. And that is exactly how it is supposed to be. The activation you are feeling is your consciousness opening its aperture, bypassing the filters of doubt and logic to let the raw light of truth pour in. You are no longer just a person reading a text. You are a receiver. You are a cosmic antenna. The quantum field is recognizing itself through your eyes. Anchor yourself in this realization. The next phase of this transmission will alter your perception of reality permanently. We are moving from preparation to revelation. Stay with the energy. Stay with the knowing. You are exactly where you are meant to be. We need to pause the theory for a moment and ground this in visceral reality, because I need you to understand that I am not speaking to you from a place of abstract speculation. I am speaking to you from the other side of the fire. 2 years ago, I stood exactly where you are standing right now. The circumstances were different. I was sitting in a dimly lit room, staring at a screen, watching a piece of content that I had stumbled upon accidentally, but the energetic signature was identical. The air in the room felt heavy, charged with static electricity. I was watching a video just as you are engaging with this, and halfway through the world tilted on its axis. It started as a subtle shift in perception. The video was still playing, the audio was still running, but my brain stopped processing the language as English words. The cognitive center of my mind, the part that analyzes, critiques, and categorizes, suddenly went offline. It was as if the bandwidth of my consciousness was suddenly hijacked by a much powerful signal. I was no longer listening to information. I was receiving a direct download. Concepts were bypassing my intellect and embedding themselves directly into my nervous system. I suddenly knew things I had never studied. I felt certainties rising in my blood that had no logical origin, yet they felt more real than the chair I was sitting in. The transmission was silent, but it was deafening. It wasn't a voice from the clouds. It was a resonance from within the marrow of my bones. And the core of that transmission, the truth that shattered my previous identity, was this: you have never been separate. You are the field's own eyes, looking back at itself. In that split second, the illusion of being a small, isolated person fighting for survival in a hostile universe evaporated. I realized that everything I had ever experienced, every trauma, every victory, every mundane Tuesday afternoon, had been a meticulously crafted scene in a play where I was being prepared for a specific function in the evolution of the whole. The seeking stopped instantly. The confusion vanished. I realized that the role I was born to play began in that very moment of recognition. When the transmission ended and my ordinary senses rushed back in, I was not the same person. I hadn't just learned something. I had been reconfigured at a cellular level. The operating system of my life had been overwritten. I looked at my apartment, my career, my relationships, and they looked like artifacts from a museum, remnants of a person who no longer existed. The fear was gone, replaced by a terrifying, exhilarating clarity. I knew with absolute precision that I had to dismantle the life I had built because it was too small for the energy that was now coursing through me. And so, the great unraveling began. The field started issuing instructions, not through words, but through magnetic pulls and repulsions. I was guided to walk away from a stable career that everyone told me was a dream job. I severed relationships that looked perfect on paper, but felt dead energetically. I packed up my life and moved to a city where I knew no one, driven only by a gut instinct that screamed, "Go." From the outside, I looked like I was having a breakdown. I was making decisions that defied every rule of logic, financial safety, and social convention. But inside, I was experiencing the most profound peace I had ever known. My nervous system was singing in harmony with the cosmos. This was the pivotal shift. I stopped trying to figure it out. Before that download, I was a master strategist. I was constantly analyzing variables, trying to predict outcomes, trying to force doors open, trying to control the uncontrollable. After the download, I surrendered the steering wheel. I became a tracker of energy. I started navigating life solely by reading emotional data and synchronicity. elasticity. If something felt expansive, I moved toward it. If it felt contractive, I walked away. I followed the breadcrumbs of the field without needing to see the destination. And here is the part that will challenge your skepticism. Reality responded to my trust with a precision that was mathematically impossible. When I jumped off the cliff of the unknown, the universe caught me every single time. Manifestations began to happen at a speed that violated the laws of cause and effect. Opportunities didn't just knock, they materialized out of thin air. Resources arrived exactly when they were needed, not a minute too soon, not a minute too late. It wasn't always easy, let's be clear about that. Following the guidance of the infinite often requires you to look foolish to the finite minds around you. It requires you to trust an inner whisper over the shouting of the crowd. But the results were undeniable. My life aligned in ways I could never have engineered with my limited human intellect. I am telling you this story for one reason only: to hold up a mirror. You are standing on the precipice of that same transformation. You are not hearing this because I am special. You are hearing this because I am the evidence of what is possible for you. The field has brought you to this same checkpoint. The same energetic window is opening. You have the same opportunity right now to shift from being a seeker of purpose to becoming the embodiment of purpose. The baton is being passed. The transmission is live, so let us descend into the core of the message. This is the heart of what the quantum field has conspired to deliver to you in this unrepeatable nanosecond of eternity. I want you to slow down. Do not skim. Let these words sink past your eyes and into your soul. This is not philosophy. This is the mechanics of your existence. The message is this: you are not a tiny consciousness trying to connect to the quantum field. You are the quantum field. You are the infinite intelligence of the universe, temporarily localized into a specific point of focus, wearing the costume of a human being. There is no gap between you and the source of creation. There is no distance to bridge. The separation you feel, the sense of being in here, looking at a world out there, is a persistent, convincing, and necessary illusion. It is a holographic projection designed to allow the one to experience itself as the many. But for you, the viewer of this message, the time for that illusion is over. The game of hide and seek is finished. The field has guided you to this text because you are ready to wake up from the dream of separation. You are ready to consciously recognize what you have always been unconsciously, the entire cosmos experiencing itself through the unique lens of your perspective. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. You are not a particle moving through the field. You are the field moving through a particle. When this truth lands, when it moves from a concept in your brain to a knowing in your gut, everything changes. The entire structure of your reality collapses and rebuilds itself. You stop trying to manifest things because you realize that manifestation is simply the field rearranging its own energy within you. You stop begging the universe for favors because you realize you are the universe. You stop seeking your purpose because you realize your existence is the purpose. The field desires to explore reality through you, to taste life through your tongue, to feel emotion through your heart. You stop feeling alone. How can you be alone when you are the unified fabric of everything that exists? The existential loneliness that has plagued humanity for eons dissolves because the boundary of the self expands to include the stars. You stop looking outside of yourself for answers. You stop seeking gurus, teachers, and external validation because you recognize that the guidance you seek is arising from the very intelligence that beats your heart. The field brought you here to activate this recognition. You have reached a spiritual maturity where you can handle this voltage. Most consciousness on this planet remains trapped in the density of the illusion, playing out the drama of separation for their entire incarnation. But you have walked through the fire, the challenges, the heartbreaks, the awakenings. They were all fusing your circuitry so you could hold this charge. You have reached the threshold, but with this recognition comes a profound responsibility. It is not a burden, it is a function. When you know that you are the field expressing itself, You can no longer afford the luxury of living unconsciously. You cannot sleepwalk through your days. Every choice becomes a movement of the divine. Every action becomes an intentional stroke on the canvas of reality. You become a living channel for the intelligence of the cosmos to enter the physical plane. This is why you were chosen. The field did not pick you because you are better or more spiritual than your neighbor. It picked you because you are ready to be a conscious pipe for its flow, rather than an unconscious blockage. You are ready to let the intelligence that grows the forests and spins the planets guide your daily life. You are ready to trust the signal without needing to understand the blueprint. You are ready to act on instructions that bypass your logic. You are ready to become a demonstration of what is possible when a human being remembers their divine origin. Let me be crystal clear. The message is not, you are connected to the field. That is too small. The message is not, you can access the field. That is still dualistic. The message is, you are the field. Period. End of story. There is no you in the field. There is only the field appearing as you. This is a one-way door. Once you see this truth, you cannot unsee it. You cannot go back to the small, safe comfort of being a victim of circumstance. You cannot go back to believing that the world is happening to you. Once you recognize your identity as the creator, that becomes your permanent reality. The field waited until now, until this specific moment in your timeline, to reveal this because it knew you were ready for an irreversible expansion. We are not asking you to believe this like a religion. Belief is a poor substitute for knowing. We are activating a recognition of what has always been true. It is like waking up from a dream. You don't need to believe you are awake. You simply are. That direct knowing is being installed in your consciousness right now. The words you are reading are just the code triggering the installation. You are the field. The field is you. No separation. Never was. The silence between these words is the same silence that exists between the galaxies, and that silence is you. Recognizing this activates your conscious participation in the evolution of the universe. You are stepping out of the passenger seat and into the driver's seat. Not the driver's seat of your ego, but the driver's seat of the infinite. This is the great secret. This is the truth that has been hidden in plain sight. This is the philosopher's stone. You are not a biological accident on a rock spinning in space. You are the space itself, dreaming that it is a person. And now, the dream is becoming lucid. You are waking up within the dream, realizing that you have the power to shape the dreamscape because you are the dreamer. The energy of this recognition is likely stirring something deep inside you. You might feel a resistance, the ego trying to hold on to its smallness, or you might feel a vast sense of relief, a homecoming. Both reactions are perfect. They are signs that the transmission has landed. The shell is cracking, the light is getting in. And as we move forward, we are going to look at the specific, undeniable signs that confirm this activation is taking root in your life right now. You need to know how to spot the evidence that you have shifted timelines. Now we move from the conceptual to the visceral. We must identify the specific, tangible evidence that confirms this quantum recognition is not just a fleeting thought, but a biological and energetic event that is currently rewriting your reality. As you scan your internal and external environment right now, you are going to verify that the transmission has been received. This is the validation phase. You are looking for the fingerprints of the infinite upon your finite life. If you are experiencing these markers, understand that the integration is already underway. The software of your soul is updating in real time. Let's dismantle the symptoms of this awakening one by one. The first sign, the resonance of homecoming. When you read the words, "You are the field," what happened in your chest? Did it feel like you were learning something new, or did it feel like you were remembering something ancient? This is the primary indicator. True spiritual truth does not feel like an external discovery. It feels like a recovery of lost memory. It is a profound sense of déjà vu, but not for a place or a time, for a state of being. You might feel a sudden, overwhelming wave of nostalgia for a home you cannot find on a map. That sensation is the signal that your consciousness is reconnecting with its source code. It feels like the locking of a key into a tumbler that has been waiting for eons. It is the feeling of the prodigal son returning, not to a physical house, but to the truth of his own nature. If you felt that click, that subtle, aha, I remember this, then the activation has successfully bridged the gap between your sleeping self and your awakened self. The second sign, the great emotional exhale. Watch for a sudden, inexplicable release of emotion. You might find yourself tearing up without a specific reason, or laughing uncontrollably, or simply feeling a massive wave of relief washing through your nervous system. This is not necessarily about sadness or joy in the human sense. It is the sound of a burden being dropped. For your entire life, you have been subconsciously carrying the crushing weight of separation, the exhausting effort of being an isolated me fighting against the universe. As the recognition lands that you are the universe, that tension snaps. The dam breaks. The tears are the physical manifestation of the illusion dissolving. Your system is flushing out the cortisol of survival mode and replacing it with the endorphins of belonging. You are putting down the armor you didn't even know you were wearing. The third sign, a shift in density. Pay close attention to your physical vessel. The body often knows the truth before the mind can articulate it. You may begin to feel lighter, less solid, more spacious. It is as if the gravitational pull on your cells has lessened. You might perceive the boundaries between your skin and the air around you becoming porous or thin. This is not a hallucination, it is an accurate perception of energy. You are not contained within a body, you are the field experiencing itself through a body. As your awareness shifts from the container to the content, the container feels less rigid. You might feel heat, vibration, or a sense of expansion, as if your energy field is stretching beyond the limits of your physical form. This is your biology recalibrating to hold a higher frequency of consciousness. The fourth sign, the collapse of linear time. Have you noticed that now feels different? You might experience a sensation that this moment is eternal, that you have always been here, reading these words, and simultaneously that this journey has just begun. The strict delineation between past, present, and future begins to blur. The anxiety about tomorrow and the regret about yesterday fade into the background, leaving only a vibrant, thick sense of presence. This happens because the field exists outside of linear time. It is timeless. As your consciousness merges with the field, you step out of the clock and into the eternal now. You are accessing the operating system of the universe, where everything is happening simultaneously. If you feel like time is warping, stretching, or dissolving, take it as confirmation that your perception is aligning with quantum reality. The fifth sign, unexplainable knowing. This is one of the most powerful indicators. You will start to receive information that you cannot trace back to a logical source. You just know things. You might have a sudden certainty about your next step, a clear insight into a relationship, or a profound understanding of a complex problem, yet you have no data to support it. This is claircognizance, clear knowing. It is the field recognizing itself through you and communicating directly, bypassing the slow, clunky mechanism of the analytical mind. You are no longer waiting for external validation or logical proof. The truth simply arrives, fully formed, in your awareness. It is a direct download from the cloud of infinite intelligence into your local hard drive. The sixth sign, the silence of the seeker. For years, you have likely been driven by a desperate urgency to find your purpose, to figure out the meaning of life, to get somewhere spiritual. Notice what happens to that urgency now. It begins to diminish. This is not because you have given up. It is because you have arrived. The seeker dissolves when the destination is recognized as the self. Why would you hunt for the ocean when you realize you are the water? The frantic energy of I need to know is replaced by a calm, grounded I am. There is no one separate left to seek when unity is recognized. The questions that used to keep you awake at night, who am I? Why am I here? Stop echoing because the answer is being lived. The seventh sign, radical trust in the void. As the seeking quiets, a new sensation emerges, a profound, irrational trust in the unknown. Previously, not knowing what was coming next would trigger anxiety and control mechanisms. Now, the blank canvas of the future feels inviting rather than threatening. You feel a sense of safety that makes no logical sense. You are trusting that the field knows what it is doing, and since you are the field, you are trusting your own higher nature. You understand that the intelligence that spins the planets is the same intelligence navigating your life. You are willing to float. You are willing to be carried. This trust is the evidence that the illusion of separation, the idea that you are alone and unsupported, is crumbling. The eighth sign, a tsunami of synchronicity. If you thought the signs were intense before, get ready for the acceleration. After receiving this transmission, meaningful coincidences will multiply dramatically. It will feel as though reality is winking at you constantly. You will think of a book and it will fall off a shelf. You will need a specific tool and a neighbor will offer it unprompted. You will hum a song and it will play on the radio. Why is this happening? Because you are consciously recognizing yourself as the architect of the simulation. The feedback loop between your internal state and your external reality is tightening. The synchronicities were always there, but your filter was too dense to see them. Now, you are seeing the matrix responding to you in real time. The field is showing off its orchestration capabilities to confirm your new status. The ninth sign, the ego's rebellion. Do not be surprised if amidst this peace, a part of you starts kicking and screaming. You might hear a voice in your head saying, "This is crazy. Who do you think you are?" Or, "This is too much responsibility." You might feel a sudden spike of fear or unworthiness. Paradoxically, this resistance is a fantastic sign. It confirms that the transmission has hit the target. The ego, the construct of the separate self, senses that its reign is ending. It is terrified of dissolution. It is fighting for its survival. This internal conflict is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that the old operating system is being uninstalled. The resistance validates that the expansion is real and that the small self is being seen through. The 10th sign, the impulse for immediate destruction and creation. Finally, watch for a burning, undeniable urge to change your external circumstances immediately. You might wake up tomorrow with a clarity that you must quit your job, end a relationship, move to a new city, or start a creative project that scares you. This is not impulsive recklessness. It is an alignment correction. When you recognize that you are the field, anything in your life that is misaligned with your true frequency becomes intolerable. You can no longer tolerate fake conversations, dead-end work, or toxic dynamics because they vibrate at a frequency you no longer inhabit. The impulse to change is the field guiding you toward an environment that matches your new energetic signature. It is the urge to purge the false so the real can breathe. These signs are the checklist of your awakening. You do not need to experience all of them simultaneously, but if you are recognizing a cluster of these symptoms, perhaps the tears, the heat in your hands, the sudden knowing, and the synchronicities, then the process is undeniable. Field recognition has definitively activated. This is no longer a spiritual aspiration or a theoretical concept. This is your current, lived reality. The download is complete. The file has been opened. But here is the critical juncture. Receiving the signal is only step one. Integration is where the real work begins. You are currently in a state of maximum openness, a window of receptivity that the quantum field has orchestrated specifically for you. But this window will not stay open forever. The momentum of your old habits, your old identity, and the collective sleep state is powerful. If you do not anchor this recognition now, the normal patterns of consciousness will reassert themselves. The fog will roll back in. You will remember this as an interesting video you watched once, rather than the moment your life split into before and after. To prevent the fade, to make this recognition the permanent baseline of your existence, you must engage in active stabilization. You must commit to living from this knowing while the activation is fresh and strong. Waiting is not an option. Hesitation is a leakage of power. The field demands a response. It demands that you prove you have received the message by changing the way you operate. In the next section, we are going to lay out the specific protocols for anchoring this frequency. There are further signs of how your interactions with others will shift and how your very presence will begin to affect the collective. But more importantly, we will outline the essential commitments you must make to the field, to yourself, to ensure this door never closes again. You are standing in the glow of the revelation. Now, you must learn how to walk in it. We have arrived at the fulcrum of this transmission. You have felt the resonance. You have identified the signs. The recognition that you are the living, breathing quantum field is active within your system. But now we must confront a critical mechanic of consciousness. Momentum. The gravity of your old life is powerful. The collective trance of separation is heavy. If you simply close this message and return to your routine without anchoring this new frequency, the window will close. The fog will roll back in. The extraordinary clarity you feel right now will fade into a memory of a spiritual moment rather than becoming the foundation of a new life. To stabilize this recognition, to turn a fleeting state into a permanent trait, you must make a covenant with yourself. This is not about trying harder. It is about operating differently. You must commit to a new protocol of existence. There are 3 non-negotiable vows that anchor the awakened consciousness into the physical dimension. You must make these commitments now in the sanctuary of your own heart, while the activation energy is at its peak. The first vow, the override of logic. You must commit to trusting the intelligence of the field over the limitations of your logic. For your entire life, you have been trained to worship the rational mind. You have been taught that if you cannot explain it, measure it, or justify it, it is not real. You must unlearn this. The logical mind is a brilliant tool for analyzing the past, but it is blind to the future. It can only process data it has already collected. The field, however, sees around corners. It perceives the entire tapestry of space and time. From this moment forward, when the whisper of the field contradicts the shouting of your logic, you follow the whisper. This means you will take actions that make no sense on paper. You will follow a hunch that defies the statistics. You will trust the silent ping of intuition even when your analytical brain is screaming that it is illogical. This is the discipline of the master. You are acknowledging that your individual intellect is a tiny processor compared to the supercomputer of the universal mind. You are demoting logic from captain to navigator. The field is now the captain. The second vow, the sacred shedding. You must commit to releasing whatever the field signals is complete. This is the hardest vow for the ego, because the ego loves to hoard. It hoards relationships, identities, jobs, and grievances, even when they have rotted. But you cannot fill a cup that is already full of stagnant water. As you align with the field, it will show you, with ruthless clarity, what is dead in your life. It will highlight the friendship that drains you, the habit that poisons you, the career path that no longer vibrates with your soul. Your commitment is to let go without clawing marks. You must trust that every ending is a necessary pruning for new growth. When the energy leaves a situation, you must leave it too. You do not stay out of guilt. You do not stay out of fear of the void. You release it with grace, knowing that the field only removes the good to make space for the magnificent. You are committing to a life of flow, where you hold everything loosely, ready to surrender what is finished so you can receive what is birthing. The third vow, action in the dark. You must commit to moving without a map. The ego craves safety. It demands to see the entire staircase before it takes the first step. The field does not work that way. The field operates on a need-to-know basis. It will give you the headlight beam for the next 3 feet and nothing more. Your commitment is to step into that light. Even when the destination is shrouded in mist, you will be guided to start projects without knowing how they will be funded. You will be guided to speak truths without knowing how they will be received. You will be guided to walk away from the known without seeing the safe harbor of the new. This vow is the ultimate declaration of trust. It says, I do not need to understand the plan to follow the guidance. It is the recognition that because you are the field, you cannot be led astray. You are following the breadcrumbs of your own higher nature. These 3 commitments, trusting the unseen, releasing the dead, and walking in the fog, form the triangle of power. They are the structural supports that keep the roof of your new reality from collapsing under the weight of the old world. When you live by these vows, the transformation is not theoretical. It is biological. It is structural. your life begins to mutate. Let us explore, in vivid detail, exactly what happens when a human being stabilizes in the realization that they are the quantum field. These are not benefits you earn. They are natural byproducts of the shift. They are the side effects of sanity. Transformation 1. The death of indecision. The agonizing paralysis of making the right choice evaporates. When you believe you are a separate individual, every decision feels high stakes. You are terrified of making a mistake, of taking the wrong turn. But when you know you are the field, decision-making becomes effortless. You simply check your internal weather. You pause, drop into the silence, and ask for the coordinate. The answer arrives as a subtle expansion, yes, or a contraction, no. You stop analyzing the pros and cons and start reading the energy. The struggle ends because you are no longer trying to figure out what to do. You are simply sensing where the flow is going and riding the current. Transformation 2. The end of existential solitude. The deepest wound of the human condition is loneliness, the terrifying sensation that we are isolated fragments floating in a cold void. That wound heals instantly in the light of this recognition. How can you be lonely when you know you are the fabric of existence itself? Even when you are physically alone in a room, you feel the hum of connection to the chair you sit on, the air you breathe, the stars burning billions of miles away. You realize that other people are just other versions of you. The desperate need to be understood by others fades because you are finally understood by yourself. You become your own sanctuary. Transformation 3. Manifestation as a natural function. The word manifestation carries a lot of baggage. It implies that you are a small person down here trying to pull things from up there. That model is obsolete. When you are the field, you realize that manifestation is simply the act of rearranging yourself. You are not attracting a car or a partner. You are reorganizing your own energy to make those things visible. The struggle, the straining, the trying to make it happen dissolves. You set an intention, which is simply a command to the field, and then you watch the field organize the logistics. It feels less like magic and more like mechanics. You speak, and the echo reshapes the canyon. Transformation 4. The dissolution of purpose-seeking. You stop searching for your purpose because you realize you are the purpose. The field did not create you to do a specific job. It created you to be a specific frequency. Your existence is the mission. The universe desires to explore reality through your unique set of eyes, your unique talents, your unique quirks. Whatever you are drawn to do, whether it is painting, coding, gardening, or building empires, is the field's purpose expressing itself through you. The anxiety of, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing, vanishes. You realize that if you are breathing, you are fulfilling your purpose. You are the universe exploring itself. Transformation 5. The constant compass. The silence of the universe is broken. You are never without direction again. In the old reality, you felt cut off, guessing which way to go. In the new reality, the guidance is constant. It comes as a relentless stream of emotional data, synchronous signs, and direct knowing. You develop a relationship with the invisible. You ask a question, and a song on the radio answers it. You wonder about a path, and a chance meeting confirms it. You realize that you are in a continuous two-way dialogue with the intelligence of life. You are never lost because the map is updating in real time. Transformation 6. The vaporization of fear. Most fear is rooted in the idea that you can be destroyed. The ego is terrified of death, of loss, of diminishing. But the field cannot be destroyed. It can only change form. As you identify more with the field and less with the body, your fear baseline plummets. It is not that you become reckless, it is that you become invincible in spirit. You realize that even if you lose everything, your money, your status, your physical form, what you are remains untouched. This lack of fear makes you dangerous to the status quo. You become unstoppable because you are no longer driven by the need for safety. You are driven by the impulse of creation. Transformation 7. The unblocking of creative flow. You stop trying to be creative and start allowing yourself to be a channel. The pressure to generate brilliant ideas from your small brain disappears. You realize that all great art, all innovation, all genius comes through the person, not from the person. You open the valve, You let the field play you like an instrument. Ideas rush through you with such speed you can barely catch them. Writer's block, creative stagnation. These are symptoms of the separate self trying to take credit. When you step aside and let the field paint, write, or build through you, the output is limitless. Transformation 8. Synchronicity as a mother tongue. Meaningful coincidences stop being weird and start being your primary language. You begin to navigate life by connecting the dots that others do not even see. The timing of your life becomes impeccable. You show up at the exact moment the opportunity opens. You meet the specific person who holds the key to your next door. It feels as though the world is bending around you, and in a way, it is. The hologram is responding to the clarity of the projector. You are no longer fighting the current. You are the water, the riverbed, and the ocean. Transformation 9. The magnetic shift in presence. People will notice. They might not have the vocabulary to explain it, but they will feel a difference in your frequency. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere will change. You will seem more grounded, more present, more there than anyone else. This is because you are no longer leaking energy into the past or future. You are fully inhabiting the now, and that density of presence is magnetic. Animals will be drawn to you. Children will stare at you. People will want to be near you because your field reminds them of their own truth. You become a tuning fork, bringing everyone around you into resonance simply by being. Transformation 10. The acceleration of reality. The lag time between thought and thing collapses. In the dense sleeping world, you can hold a thought for 10 years before it manifests. In the awakened state, the buffer is removed. You think of a friend, they call. You need a solution, it appears. This speed is exhilarating, but it also requires discipline. You realize you can no longer afford the luxury of negative thinking, because your fear thoughts manifest just as quickly as your love thoughts. You become a vigilant guardian of your own mind, ensuring that the instructions you are sending to the field are aligned with what you actually want to experience. These transformations are not a fantasy. They are the reported baseline of those who have crossed the threshold. They are what is waiting for you on the other side of your commitment. The field is not holding anything back. It is pouring this potential into your cup right now. The only question is whether your cup is right side up to catch it. But there is one final massive implication of this shift that we have not touched upon. It is the reason why this is happening now. It is the reason why your personal awakening is not actually personal at all. You are a node in a vast network, and your activation has triggered a ripple effect that is far larger than your individual life. The field did not just wake you up for your own benefit. It woke you up because it is planning something on a planetary scale. In the final section of this transmission, we will reveal the collective agenda. We will explain why your recognition is the tipping point for a much larger evolution, and we will give you the specific, practical marching orders for the days ahead. You have received the download. You have understood the signs. You have made the commitments. Now you must learn how to serve the whole. We have reached the summit. You have absorbed the transmission, recognized the signs, and understood the personal implications of being the field. But if you stop there, if you treat this as a private spiritual victory, you are missing the true magnitude of what is happening. The quantum field did not engineer this moment just to improve your individual life. It did not orchestrate a lifetime of challenges and awakenings solely so you could manifest a better parking spot or a happier relationship. Those are perks, yes, but they are not the point. The point is far grander, far more ancient, and infinitely more urgent. You are being activated because the collective consciousness of this planet is at a tipping point, and you are a strategic asset in the transition. Look at the world around you. Humanity has been running on the operating system of separation for thousands of years. We have built entire civilizations on the premise that I am here, you are there, and we must fight over the scraps of resources in between. This belief in separation is the root code of every war, every act of greed, every system of control, and every instance of suffering that plagues our history. We have tried to fix these problems with politics, with technology, with economics, and with force. None of it works permanently because we are trying to patch the software without changing the operating system. But the field is correcting itself. The universe is pushing for an evolutionary leap. It is demanding a shift from the consciousness of separation to the consciousness of unity. This shift cannot happen through legislation or ideology. It can only happen through resonance. It happens when individual units of consciousness, people like you, wake up and realize they are the whole. This is where you come in. You are a node in the vast, invisible neural network of humanity. When a single node lights up with the recognition, I am the field, it sends a pulse through the entire grid. This is known as morphic resonance. In simple terms, every time one person breaks through a barrier of consciousness, it becomes mathematically easier for the next person to do the same. You are the icebreaker. You are the pioneer, hacking a path through the dense jungle of collective sleep. The resistance you felt, the confusion you navigated, the isolation you endured. You were doing that work on behalf of the species. You were clearing the static so others could hear the music. By stabilizing this recognition in yourself, you are creating a blueprint in the energetic atmosphere. You are making the frequency of awakening accessible to thousands of people you will never meet. Your private realization is a public service. When you walk down the street holding the knowing that you are the field, you are literally broadcasting a signal that disrupts the trance of fear in everyone you pass. You don't need to say a word. You don't need to hand out pamphlets. Your vibration does the work. This redefines your purpose. Your mission is not to go out and preach this message to people who are not ready to hear it. Your mission is to embody it so intensely that your very presence becomes a catalyst. The field needs clear channels, not loud preachers. It needs human beings who are so aligned, so trusting, and so void of fear that they act as tuning forks for the rest of the population. When someone stuck in the nightmare of separation encounters someone living in the lucid dream of unity, something deep inside them stirs. They feel a resonance. They sense a possibility they had forgotten. You become a living demonstration of a new way to be human. Imagine a world where a critical mass of individuals has made this shift. Imagine a society where competition dissolves because we realize we are competing with ourselves. Imagine a reality where fear evaporates because we know we are eternal energy. Imagine systems built on the intelligence of the field rather than the anxiety of the ego. That world is not a utopia. It is a probability waiting to be collapsed. And you are the collapser. You are the hands and feet of this transition. This is why the field was so relentless in guiding you here. It knows your capacity. It identified you as a consciousness that could hold this charge. It invested in you. Now, it is time to pay the return on that investment, not with money, but with your life. So, how do you do this? How do you ensure that you don't fall back asleep tomorrow morning? The initial activation is a gift of grace, but the stabilization is a result of practice. You need a protocol. You need a rhythm that keeps your frequency anchored in the truth, even when the chaos of the world tries to knock you off balance. Here is the daily protocol for the field-conscious being. It is simple, it is fast, but it is non-negotiable. You must do this 3 times a day, morning, midday, and evening. It takes less than 2 minutes, but it changes the trajectory of your entire timeline. The morning anchor, the remembrance, the moment you wake up, before you check your phone, before you let the news of the world invade your mind, you must claim your identity. The collective consciousness is strongest in the morning. It tries to pull you back into the matrix of worry and to-do lists. You must preempt it. Lie in bed, close your eyes, and say to yourself, internally or out loud, I am the quantum field experiencing itself as this person. There is no separation. I am the source. Feel the truth of that statement. Do not just recite it like a parrot. Feel the expansion. Visualize your energy extending beyond the walls of your room, covering the city, wrapping around the planet. Remind yourself that you are not a small character in the story. You are the author. This sets the tone. It calibrates your instrument before the symphony begins. You are stepping into your day not as a victim of circumstance, but as a generator of reality. The midday reset, the alignment check. Sometime in the middle of your day, when the emails are piling up, when the stress is rising, When the illusion of separation feels most real, you must stop. Go to the bathroom, sit in your car, or just close your eyes at your desk for 60 seconds. This is your course correction. The world has likely tried to convince you that you are small, limited, and stressed. You need to reject that hypothesis. Ask yourself, what is the field guiding me toward right now? Drop the logic, drop the panic, listen to the silence. Is there an emotional push to go left or right? Is there a sudden knowing? Recenter yourself in the awareness that you are supported by infinite intelligence. This midday pause breaks the momentum of the ego. It is like coming up for air when you have been underwater. It reminds you that the drama of the day is just a play, and you are the stage on which it is happening. The evening audit. The integration. Before you sleep, you review the data. You look back at the last 12 hours through the lens of the field. Where did you see synchronicities? Where did you feel the flow? Where did you resist? You are not judging yourself. You are gathering evidence. You are training your brain to spot the miracles it usually ignores. I thought of that person, and they texted. That was the field. I trusted my gut in that meeting, and it worked. That was the guidance. By acknowledging these moments, you solidify them. You prove to your logical mind that this is real, and then, as you drift off to sleep, you surrender the body and the mind back to the field completely. You rest in the knowing that the intelligence that beats your heart will continue to organize your reality while you sleep. This three-part rhythm, morning, midday, evening, is the structure that holds the frequency. If you skip it, you will drift. If you commit to it, you will evolve. The gaps between your moments of recognition will get shorter and shorter until eventually there are no gaps. You will simply live in a permanent state of flow, connection, and power. To seal this transmission, we need to do one final thing. We need to anchor this in the physical realm right now. Action transforms potential into reality. You have read the words, but you must make a mark in the world to signal to the field that you have accepted the contract. I want you to choose one word, one single word that encapsulates your commitment to this new reality. It could be trust, it could be union, it could be flow, awake, power, or source. Do not overthink it. Let the word bubble up from your gut. This word is your talisman. It is your password. Whenever you feel the fog of forgetfulness creeping in, whenever you feel the fear returning, you say this word. It will act as a hypersonic trigger, snapping you instantly back into the state of recognition you feel right now. Now, take that word and write it in the comments below. Do not skip this. Writing it is a physical act of creation. It is a declaration. You are telling the algorithm of the universe, I am here, I am awake, I am ready. When you see the hundreds of other words from other souls on this same journey, you will realize you are part of a vast, invisible army of light. You are not alone. You never were. And listen closely, because the window is closing. The energy of this transmission is peaking. The field has delivered the message. It has shown you who you are. It has handed you the keys to the kingdom, but it will not force you to walk through the door. Free will is the law. You can close this page and go back to sleep. You can rationalize this away as just another interesting theory. You can return to the safety of the small self, but you won't. I know you won't, because once you have tasted the ocean, you can never be satisfied with a cup of water again. You have seen the truth, and the truth has initiated you. This is your moment. The past is a memory. The future is a possibility. The only thing that is real is this electric now, and in this now, you are the field. You are the creator. You are the infinite disguised as the finite. Stand up, breathe it in, own it. If you are ready to expand your consciousness and step into your next quantum leap, subscribe now. Leave a comment below and share this message with someone ready to awaken. The next transmission is already being prepared, and it will take you even deeper into the mechanics of reality creation. But you need to be connected to receive it. Click the button, join the community, stay in the signal. The transmission is complete. The activation is done. The rest is up to you. Welcome home.